Oh my gosh, guys, I am so excited. I just purchased just a few books from my local bookstore, which is actually QBD, so it's not like some indie underground bookstore. It's obviously a very popular bookstore, and my intention today was to buy some books. So this week I am trying to do like fun things after work that kind of just make me like a little bit more, make me feel like I have a little bit more of a work-life balance rather than just coming home and doing nothing, or like cooking and preparing for the next day. So this week I've been on like my grind to do fun things, and today was going to the bookshop because it's Thursday night, it's late night shopping here. So yeah, I was so excited. I actually had a really kind of crappy day at work today, so this is like the one thing that had me like so excited. I was like, that's okay, you just have to make it to 4 o'clock and then you get to leave work and you get to go to the bookshop and kind of, I don't know, maybe you might get this, but like books and like being surrounded by books and being in a bookshop just like fills my heart and my soul with like so much joy. I genuinely love it so much, and it just like makes me feel this like kind of peace. I don't know, that might sound crazy, but it genuinely does. Like I really look forward to not even just like buying books, but just like going to a bookshop and seeing what the new releases are, seeing what like the bookshop I was gonna say owners, but like the workers favorite books are, like what, you know, going and like seeing a new book that I've never seen it before and like jumping on the Goodreads and seeing what people think like about it, and you know, things like that. So I just genuinely love going to the bookshop. So today I was so excited, and it definitely kind of got me through my day. Again, might sound crazy, but that is just like me, and that is how I feel about bookshops, and I just love them so much. I did have the intention of buying books. I didn't really know how many I wanted to buy. There was one that I went in to the bookshop with the intention of buying because I know it was released yesterday, I think, and I did buy that, but I will talk about that soon. So I purchased 5 books, and some of them I've actually never heard anything about. Some as I said, was like, one was like a new release. I think actually 2 were new releases, and I didn't realize. Anyway, I digress. Let's like get into the books that I bought. Okay, let's start with the one that I actually went in to QBD with the intention of buying, which is the Richard Osman's new book, We Solve Murders. So if you don't know, Richard Osman is the author of the Thursday Murder Club, and I love that series so much. Poor little waffle was just meowing because I was obviously home late, and then she was like, where did mum go? Richard Osman wrote the Thursday Murder Club. I personally love that series. I digress. So this is a new, I think it's going to be a series that Richard Osman has written, and it's about a detective duo, and I think they're father and daughter. Yeah, so Steve Wheeler is enjoying retired life. He does the odd bit of investigation work, but he prefers his familiar habits and routines. Amy Wheeler thinks adrenaline is good for the soul. As a private security officer, she doesn't stay still long enough for habits or routines. She's currently on a remote island, keeping world famous author Rosie D'Antonio, alive, which was meant to be an easy job. Then a dead body, a bag of money, and a killer with their sights on Amy have her sending an SOS to the only person she trusts, which is obviously going to be her dad. So I'm really excited for that. I love Richard Osman's writing. I think he's brilliant. I'm really excited about that. And that, as I don't know if I said, but that was a new release, so I think that just came out yesterday. The second book that I purchased is Leanne Moriarty's Here One Moment. I have a feeling this is also a new release, and I completely forgot that she was releasing another book soon, which is obviously now. I think it's, yeah, it's 2024 published. So yeah, this is, I guess, her new release. And I wasn't, well, okay, so I love Leanne Moriarty. She's one of my favorite authors and I love everything she writes. I wasn't going to buy this because I was like, oh, I just want to see what is like out at the moment before I make a commitment. And then I read the back of it and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to get this. And I know, like, she always writes a great book full of really good twists, so I know this is going to be good. But basically, it's about, it all begins on a flight home from Hobart to Sydney. The flight will be smooth, it will land safely, everyone who gets on the plane will get off, but almost all of them will be changed forever. A lady, unremarkable until she isn't, predicts how and when many of the passengers are going to die. So yeah, I am really, really excited to read that. I actually might read that next. I just finished Reckless last night, which will be in my August, September wrap up. And I don't really have anything next that I want to read, so really, really excited about that one. So the other 3 books that I got, I actually, only one of them I know anything about. So these 2 were like buy one, get one, half price. So I got Eleanor Jones Is I'm Not a Murderer. I love a good little murder mystery. It's really small, it's like tiny. And I feel like I'm not necessarily like in the mood for anything right now, so I feel like this might be like a good little palette cleanser, if you will, because I've been reading a lot of fantasy. I think this will be really good. Basically, it's just about a girl who is in high school, and then the first person she talks to is stabbed and left for dead, and I feel like it looks like they might blame her for it. So yeah, and I had a look on Goodreads and it was like 3.82 stars or something like that. So I'm looking forward to that. And then the other half of that I got in the buy one get one half price was The Inheritance Games. I've seen so many people talk about this and talk about how good this is, and I think it's like a 4 point something stars on Goodreads. So yeah, first of all, I love the cover. Is that just not like beautiful? It's stunning. Oh my gosh. And I love this color green. I know this is not why you should buy books, but it's just so like beautiful. Like, look at that. Avery has a plan. Keep her head down, work hard for a better future. Then an eccentric billionaire dies, leaving her almost his entire fortune. And no one, least of all Avery, knows why. Now she must move into the mansion she's inherited. It's filled with secrets and codes and the old man's surviving relatives. Ooh. Soon she's caught in a deadly game that everyone in this strange family is playing. Oh my gosh, I didn't read the back of that. I just read like the reviews and that looks really, really good. Okay, I'm so excited for that. And then the last one I got is Bride of the Shadow King. Again, a beautiful cover. So stunning. I also love this color blue. And I kind of just wanted a fantasy book. Like, I just wanted a fantasy that I had never heard anything about, that, yeah, that I didn't know who the author was. The author is Sylvia. That's wrong. Sylvia Mercedes. So yeah, I have never heard anything about this book. Had never seen this anywhere before, and I just wanted a fantasy that like no one around me was kind of like talking about. And I looked it up on Goodreads. I had like a pretty good star rating. And I think they said it was like an enemies to lovers, which I love. I love an enemies to lovers. So yeah, a shunned princess, a reluctant king, a marriage that could save both their kingdoms but destroy their hearts. Forain, yeah, is shunned from the court and kept out of sight. Her chronic illness that for me was a bit of a grabber, because I was like, oh, that's so fascinating, like bringing another element into it. I find that really exciting. So her chronic illness makes her a liability to the crown, and she has learnt to give place to her beautiful favoured younger sister in all things. Right, so like the main guy, the Shadow King, looks like he's going to be like arranged to marry the younger sister, but is obviously in love with the older sister. That is all on the back. None of that is a spoiler. Oh, big jump. So yeah, I'm really excited for that. Oh my gosh, now I don't know what book to read next. They all look so good. That is all. Thank you for watching my book haul. I will see you guys later. I'm now going to call my mum to tell her all about the books that I just bought. Oh my gosh, guys, apologies about the angle. I just needed, it's so high. I don't know if I like it. Okay, give me a second. This is what I think it is. This is a parcel that I have just gotten, and it is fittingly book, I was gonna say match, it is not book match. It is a book that is a brand new release that I have been waiting for like months. So like the book was released, what's the date today? So the book was, today's the 24th. The book was released on the 19th of September, but I pre-ordered this like months and months ago, and I am so excited. I'm not gonna say what it is yet because I don't want it to be wrong, but I don't think, oh my gosh, it is, oh my gosh, okay, so I have not been this excited for like a book release for so long, and this is like only, I'm usually not like a pre-orderer of books because I find that they do take a little bit longer to get here. Like it's already like nearly a week since the release, and I could have just gone to like QBD and bought it, but I just like love, I love the anticipation. Like I love like being like, oh my gosh, when's it gonna come? And I actually had forgotten, well, I hadn't forgotten that I had ordered this, but part of me was like, oh, I wonder if I actually did pre-order this, because I couldn't find like an email, I couldn't find like a bank statement, I couldn't find like any kind of confirmation that I had bought it. So I almost was going to buy it again, and I almost bought it on my Kindle. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. Gosh. Okay, guys, is this not like the most, like, look at the details on that. Oh my gosh, that is like literally, oh my gosh, look at the little cat. Oh my gosh, there, I did not, wow. It's like a little rose, but she's like magically making it grow. Oh my goodness, it is so beautiful. Oh my gosh, okay, so context, this is a book called Rewitched, and the author is Lucy Jane Wood, and I believe, oh no, no, not the damage. Oh my gosh, no. Okay, I'm gonna have to sit that down, like, sit something on top of that. That's the only thing, that's one of the things that I really hate about like ordering books online, is that they always come with like some kind of damage. Anyway, so this is Lucy Jane Wood's debut novel, and the like minute that I saw it online, I think I saw it on Instagram, and I was like, first of all, the cover, beautiful. Second of all, the story just sounded so cozy. Like it kind of just gave like little Gilmore Girls, like Good Witch, small town, adorable like vibes, and that is like something that I am always in the mood to read. Belladonna Blackthorne hasn't lost her magical spark, but she hasn't seen it in a while either. Balancing work at her beloved London bookshop, Luna Books, while handling her toxic boss and concealing her witchcraft from those around her, Belle is burnt out. But when her 30th birthday brings a summons from her coven and a trial that tests her worthiness as a witch, Belle risks losing her magic forever. And then it says like, with found family, a dash of romance, and an uplifting message about self-love, Rewitched is a cozy fantasy that will leave readers spellbound. I am so excited for this. Even like, look at the back of it, like the little leaves falling and stuff. Oh my gosh, it just looks so beautiful. I am so excited for this book. I think, as much as I really want to read it now, I actually think I'm going to keep it for October, for obviously the month of Halloween. And a fall, even though it's not fall here in Australia, and all things spooky. So I will keep you guys updated on how it goes. But yeah, I've made myself a little decaf in my little Halloween themed mug. And I finally wanted to talk about, one second, excuse me, the books that I read while I was in New Zealand. I literally got back home from New Zealand, maybe back the first week of September, I think, and is, yeah, now the first day of October. So I clearly haven't like filmed in quite some time. I have really just not been like feeling a lot of things. I've been in a bit of a slump with reading. I tried filming this video once and I literally got halfway through and I was like, I actually don't really want to talk about these books. So yeah, have been feeling a little bit slumpish, I guess, if that's a word. But now I have my little cozy music playing in the background. I have my decaf coffee in my little Halloween themed mug. And I finally wanted to talk about these books. Let's get to it, shall we? So these are the 5 books that I read while I was in New Zealand. So the first book that I took and read while I was away was actually Powerless by Lauren Roberts. This was actually a book that I was not going to read while I was away because I didn't want to read a fantasy and I didn't want to read a book that was part of a series. So I don't know why I picked this one up first, but I'm really so glad I did. I powered through this. I loved this book so much. I wasn't too sure if I was actually going to like it because I had kind of heard, I guess, like mixed reviews of like everyone loving it, but also a lot of people saying that it was kind of childish or like very young in the way that it was written. But I genuinely like ate this up. Like I think I gave this one a 5-star and I would still stand by that now, like a month later. I genuinely just loved it. I thought it was so good. And the ending, I was like, but yeah, love this book. Then the second book that I read while I was away, I actually read on my Kindle and I read Powerful. I downloaded, as soon as I finished Powerless, I downloaded Powerful on my Kindle because I was like, I just need to like continue to be immersed in this world. And I'm so glad I did. I had heard, again, very mixed reviews about Powerful. In fact, I think I had more people hating it than liking it. And I almost think I liked Powerful more than Powerless. I loved like the main characters. I don't know if me sharing who the main characters are. Sure, it's not a spoiler. Is it? I don't think so. Because it would be on the back of the book, right? I loved the main characters. I think because I really related to the female main character. Like as much as I love Peyton. Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna say it. So Adina and Mac are the 2 main characters. I've really related to Adina. I thought she was super quirky. I thought she was super fun. I thought she was like really like just had this like cute, positive, like outlook on life, and she was just like so confident in like who she was. She was so confident in like really honoring like her inner child, and I don't know if that's like what Lauren Roberts was going for, but that's like the vibe that I got. So I was like hooked. I freaking loved, honestly. I'm gonna stick with a 5-star rating for that. The third book that I read while we were away is called The Bookshop Detectives, Dead Girl Gone. Yeah, Dead Girl Gone. And it is by Gareth and Louise Ward. So it's actually written by a husband and wife. I believe they're husband and wife. Yeah. And the reason I really wanted to like read this book while I was in New Zealand is it's set in New Zealand. So it's basically about like this couple. So basically I think the main characters we have are Garth and Eloise, and they run a bookshop, and I'm pretty sure they're like old, oh yeah, so I just had to make sure this was on the back of the book. They are 2 ex-cops, and so they kind of like they've opened this bookshop in New Zealand, and they've ended up back in this like crime solving world essentially. So yeah, it was really cute. I really enjoyed this. I love like a good little cozy mystery read. I love this book. I loved the way they wrote. I just thought it was very sweet. And I feel like it like went, like I'm assuming they wrote like chapter for chapter because it was multiple point of view. So it was like Garth and Eloise's point of view. And I feel like sometimes it's a little bit risky when like authors kind of write chapter for chapter, because it can like not flow as well. But I felt like this had a really good flow. And it was just a really sweet book. I really enjoyed it. I would recommend this book. I think I gave it like a 3.5 star or 3.75. And it's really sweet as well because, so Gareth and Louise, who are the writers, this is not Gareth's first book, but this is Louise's first book, which I thought was really cool. So they actually, like, I don't know how you say it, but like, oh my gosh, why can I not think of words tonight, honestly? But they actually like make note of Gareth's like books in real life in here and talk about like Gareth Ward, the author, and are like, oh, that would be so cool if he like came into our bookshop. Like, had a really good twist in the end that I didn't necessarily see. There was like 2 parts to it. I feel like one part I didn't see coming at all, and the other part I was like, oh, that makes sense. I would recommend this. I love this book so much. The 4th book that I read while I was away is Between Husbands and Wives, which I think I spoke about in my vlog, because I just bought this one just before I went away to New Zealand. And the reason that I got this was because it's kind of set in Cairns, far north Queensland kind of area, which is where I am originally from. And I love reading, like I love reading Australian novels. I love reading from authors who are Australian. I love reading about books that are set in places that I've been and seen. So I was really keen to read this one. And this one is like kind of about a car accident. Jennifer Ashby survives, barely a scratch, but in the wreckage, the other occupants that she like crashes into are not so lucky. Jennifer's good character helps her avoid jail, but she's traumatized by the event. And then basically that's like, it kind of just like follows Jennifer and her husband and her son, I think, as they move from like Sydney, where the accident happened, to far north Queensland, and kind of follow like their life after the accident. Obviously with all good little, like, I wouldn't say this is like a murder mystery book, but it is a mystery slash thriller book. There is obviously a really great twist at the end. I really enjoyed this. My mum also read this. She really loved this one as well. I will say there was one thing that happens in the end that I was really disappointed by. And I was like, oh, that's how they're gonna, oh, okay. Which is just like the smallest little things. And I know that they had to end it that way, so that's fine. But I was like a little bit disappointed. I felt like it was a little bit anticlimactic, but that was only one part of like the whole kind of couple of twists that happened throughout the whole thing. So yeah, I can't remember what I rated this one, but I really enjoyed it. Last book that I read while I was away, which I kind of cheated a little bit, and I read most of it on the plane home, and probably finished it the next day after I had come back, but I am counting this as a book I read while I was away, and that is The Marlowe Murder Club by Robert Thorogood. So again, my mum has read this book. She loved this book so much, and so there's two reasons I really wanted to read this book. Sorry, I'm like being so like all over the place. The first reason is I'm pretty sure the author, Robert, wrote, oh my gosh, yes, he wrote the TV series Death in Paradise. I don't know if you haven't seen that. I would completely recommend watching that. I love that show so much. It is a fun murder mystery, like follows these detectives on an island. Oh my gosh, can I remember the name of the island? Oh my gosh. Anyway, if you haven't seen Death in Paradise, watch it. I think there's like 4 or 5, 6 seasons maybe so far, and I love it, which is why I wanted to read this, because I knew if I loved that, I would probably love this. This has also been kind of likened to, oh my gosh, oh, what is that TV show? No, not TV show, book series. Oh my goodness, I literally have to Google this. I knew as soon as I Googled it, I would know exactly what it is. And it is Richard Osman's series, The Thursday Murder Club, which I love that series so much. And I literally just love watching, like reading about older people solving mysteries. I just think it's so fun. Like the way they're written is so fun as well. Anyway, and that was the case for this book. There is 2 more other books in the series, which I haven't read yet. I really want to. We'll probably read them maybe during October. We will see. But yes, I loved this book so much. I feel like I maybe gave it like a 4-star. It's like literally about 77-year-old Judith Potts. She lives like in this mansion in a place called Marlowe. She like sets crossword puzzles for a newspaper as her job. And she literally just like lives by herself, does her own thing. She like is just like living her best life, right? And then all of a sudden her next door neighbor shows up like dead, and she is like in the middle of solving this mystery, and it is just so enjoyable. She has 2 friends that you meet in the series, in this book, so I won't share about them, because I do feel like it was really sweet getting to like meet them for the first time, and I love them so much as well. They were great like little additions. I think all 3 characters are written so like beautifully, and they just go so well together. And I wasn't going to read it while I was away, and I think this was like the last book that I had to read, and I was like, oh well, I get really anxious on flights, so I kind of like needed something to like get my head out of the plane in a way, and as soon as I like picked this up and started reading it, I was like hooked, and I would recommend this book. Oh my gosh. Oh. Okay, that is all guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will talk to you guys soon, and yeah, thank you so much for watching. Okay, bye.